Hi there and welcome to a new episode of Behind the Lens. I'm Paul. Thank you for watching. In today's episode we are going to look at the DJI Pocket 2 photography capability. This camera was released for videographers and filmmakers and vloggers. It also has a photography capability. They have a sensor of 16 MB and they somehow have a second option which is enhanced 4 times to 64 MB. So I've been testing that for the last 2 days in various different circumstances and will share the results with you. So in this video you will get some examples of daylight photography with me with a little Osmo Pocket 1 here trying to film it. You'll see the 16 and 64 MB pictures. You'll see nighttime photography. You'll see panorama photography, also a little handy hack there in Lightroom, how you should edit it because the files are a bit of a mess and I don't use Mimo for that. And last but not least, a time lapse. With that you can get a pretty good overview of whether the DJI Pocket 2 really delivers on its photography specs or whether it doesn't. So with that people, let's first move on to the first segment, daytime and daylight photography. Enjoy. Any questions, feedback, let me know. Let me know what your experiences are because I'm really curious about them. And that's it from my side. Now let's move on. Is this little leaf, yeah? Now can we do this? No, I need to first, I want to use the zoom. So you go in here, very unhandy this by the way. Yeah, now it's on zoom. So let's just zoom it in here. Let's look at some of the scenery here. I'm at a building site. Yeah, so from that angle it is pretty interesting. You see that big white sugar, it's a sugar mill actually on that side. They're completely redeveloping this particular part of town. So let's just take a few pictures here and see what we got. Let's go against the sun. I have to be careful not to fall in the water. Yeah, this is without an ND filter, not the wide angle on it. We'll do that later on. Here, and let's focus here now. There's the focus point. I want it in the middle. Let's see how that looks. Now let's see if we can get a leading line. I'm obviously standing right into it. Yeah, so let's see if we can get the angle right. And now we'll go to the 64 MB zoom. New corona measures have been announced last night, so my city center is a bit empty. All the bars are closed. It's 9:10 as you can see. So let's walk home. So once you have made your panoramic pictures, which are very simple as you can see here in the above window, then it's time for them to export them. You can either do this in Mimo, yeah, the Mimo app. I'm personally not a big fan of phone editing, so I just exported them into Lightroom or Lightroom Classic. I have both, whatever you want to. Now, this itself is not that hard. Yeah, so there's a few things you need to keep into mind. The first thing is that once you open up a panoramic folder, let's put it this way here, as you can see, there's 9 different pictures. In total there's 18. Yeah, you see the DNG file here and you see the JPEG files. Now I'm only going to select the JPEG files. You can't both select them. Well, you can import them, but then you still can't select them. So let's put these 9 over. This is I think the 180. or the 3x3 as it's called. Yeah, we're just going to select those. Here we go. Review for import. Yes, add 9 photos. Here we go. We have them here, all 9. So we select them now, all of them individually. As you can see, this is this looks a bit weird. What you do now is you right click on any of the pictures. It doesn't matter as long as you all have them selected. You go to not to HDR merge right now or HDR Panorama merge. Let's go to Panorama merge. What you'll actually see now is it starts loading all these previews. Yeah, and you can do that in a spherical. Yeah, here you see this looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Oh my god, what do you do with this? Now if you put it here in cylindrical, it's a bit like, it looks like, I don't know, like something weird. And then if you put it into perspective, it doesn't work. Now your first question is going to be like, what in God's name do I do with this? Yeah, now there's a few things you can do. You can do fill settings, fill edges, and then you get this here and you see here that the edge is filled. I don't personally like it that much. Or you can do auto crop. Now you see you have your entire merged together. Now if we just look a bit at the quality here, that's okay. You just push the merge button and what you'll see is here it starts loading. And once you've done it, it's very simple. You've got your panorama picture. One of the great things here is about this particular Lightroom hack is that it saves me a bundle of time. And even you can also just, keep the image as it is, export it into Lightroom and then start cropping it so you really pick out what you really think yourself. So that's it, guys. So that's it, very easy. Hope you enjoyed it. Up to the next one. Now off to my favorite, motion time lapses. Yeah, I've made a minute of motion time lapse. I have to say that DJI, they couldn't have made it simpler. Yeah, you see here in the top how to do it. The biggest difference with the features is that in the Pocket 2, you really have very simple choice. You can go left to right, right to left, or you can do it custom made, whereas in the Pocket 1 you still have to do it manually, but that's just really small detail. Yeah, so let's have a look. This is very simple. Now, I hope you enjoyed all of this because I went quite a bit of work into it and it kind of surprised me as well. My verdict is when it comes to DJI Pocket 2 photography, as long as you look at it on a very small mobile screen, it's okay. But if you really take a closer look, the sharpness is off. There's a lot of gradients into it, so it's very, distorted. I'm not impressed with the depth of field. It's really not that good. So overall, I find it very disappointing. But in this case, I'm also aware that probably with the next firmware, there will be quite a few adjustments specifically to photography, very simply put, because it's, these gimbals. This one here is basically a pocket-sized computer with a camera onto it. So I would say if you're a photographer and considering this for your travel photography, no, don't. It's excellent for video, but photography, it's a don't. I think that it has some potential, but I really saw that the sharpness was way off, specifically when you start focusing. I think the focus could do a bit of work. I really would like to see that DJI would fix this problem where you have to continuously scroll up to either control your axis on the gimbal or your focus, your actual zoom. So I'm kind of looking at that like, please, hopefully in the next firmware that will actually be better. But all in all, I think a smartphone is actually better for photography than this gimbal at the moment. But God knows, after 1 or 2 firmware updates, you honestly don't know. We saw it with the Pocket 1 as well. A lot of things got better over time. So I guess we have a similar thing here. And that brings us to the end of this very long episode for me to make, but I'm happy to do so. I hope you enjoy it. If you have some comments or questions, please let me know. Subscribe if you want to follow me on my DJI Pocket journey and all kind of other things I do photo related. If you like this video, like it. If you have some comments, please let me know. I'll always answer. And that's it for this episode. Stay healthy, stay safe. Bye.